Hi, this is a review of Insurgent by Veronica Roth, which is the sequel to Divergent. Insurgent was released on May 1st of this year, and I was really excited to read it because I absolutely loved Divergent. But I am not a big fan of trilogy, so my expectations for this book were kind of somewhere in the middle. As usual in this review, I'm not going to spoil any major things, but in order to talk about Insurgent, I'm gonna have to talk about a couple of things in Divergent. I'm not gonna talk about anything too specific, so I think it should be okay, but if you don't want to hear any spoilers at all, you should probably stop watching this video. Divergent ended with Triss and Tobias on a train having kind of defeated Erudite. So many people have died and there's just this whole chaos going on. So the book definitely ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, and Insurgent starts right after the end of Divergent, so you can basically just keep reading. I wasn't really sure what to expect story-wise, and what I got was chaos. I felt like this book, mainly the storyline, was just all over the place. Triss gets to visit all these different factions. It's really interesting to see the way that people live in the different factions, kind of the personalities, but also the way they dress and the way they do their hair and how they actually look different and behave different, and kind of see how the factions are ruled by different people. But because she's traveling from faction to faction and she goes to some of them multiple times, it gets really confusing as to what's actually happening. This book is about 500 pages, and I felt like this story could have been told in about 300. It would have been a bit more compact and perhaps a bit more exciting. 4 was as attractive as ever. Tobias and Triss have some relationship difficulties. Triss is a little bit messed up, as you would expect her to be, but she remains a strong character, though the conflict between Tobias and Triss gets a bit repetitive at times. Insurgent has a lot of the things that I liked about Divergent. It has really dynamic and interesting new characters, but at times there are a little bit too many new characters to keep track of, and they also keep dying before you can actually get to know them. I still absolutely love that they have to jump on the trains in order to get on them. I really like the imagery of public transportation and buses and trains. The scenes where they have to jump on or off them, I don't know, I can really imagine them. If Divergent gets made into a movie, that would be one of the things I would be most excited for. Though this book is a bit sad because of, you know, all the people dying and all the fighting, there is this one scene that really stood out to me. It's when they get back to Dauntless headquarters and they realize that there's all these cameras watching them. They take out their paintball guns and together they all try to cover the cameras, and that was just one of those things that kind of lifts up the book for a while before it goes back to all this dark stuff. I still really like Triss as a main character, although she's starting to develop more of a saving people thing where she just ignores any kind of advice and just goes in and tries to save everyone, even though it's probably the most stupid plan ever. For some reason, the whole factionless bit of the book doesn't interest me that much. I can't really put my finger on what it is about the situation that annoys me, but I'm just not very excited about that part of the book. Basically what Insurgent did was that it opened up the world a little bit more so you can find out some new information, but it's not actually giving you the information that you want, which is about the entire world itself, which is probably gonna happen in the final book. I am very excited to discover what it is, and I don't think I can really make up my mind about these series until I know what the whole purpose of everything is. So Insurgent was very enjoyable. I probably would have liked it more if it would have been a little bit shorter, but overall I quite liked it, although it's not quite as good as Divergent. If you've read Insurgent, you can let me know in the comments what you thought about it, and I'll talk to you guys later. Doei! That fly needs to go. Yes! It's out of the room! It's out of the room. Okay, I have successfully chased the fly out of my room.